Greetings and welcome to the Haiku Pond, a place to ponder life through haiku. My name is Anthony and I'm the caretaker of the pond. In this episode, I have one final haiku to share with you. To prepare, let's take a deep breath and dive into the pond. This part has ended, but with each ending, there is a new beginning. First, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to everyone who submitted a haiku for this podcast. When I started this podcast, I thought it would be a fun way to share some of my haiku and connect with other haiku poets. However, once I got started, I soon discovered there are more of you out there than I expected. When I first announced I was taking submissions, it took a while before I actually received any. And I admit I was a bit panicked because I wasn't sure what to do about the planned episodes where I featured other poets. Skip them, I guess? Anyway, thankfully, the haiku poets of the world are a kind and giving people. I'm eternally grateful to all of you. Thank you again to Liam Maguire on Twitter, Monster Poems on Twitter, Moon Hates Sun on Instagram, Jamie Wimberly on Instagram, Melody Wong on Twitter, Simon Rooney on Twitter, Stacy the Haiku Ninja on Instagram, Carissa Hoyman on Twitter, Linda Sacco on Twitter, Carly Whitworth on Instagram, Haiku Tech on Twitter, 17onji on Instagram, Haiku's Angry on Twitter, Full Poetry on Instagram, Mallory Rowe on Instagram, our anonymous poet, and Read Write Haiku on Twitter. In the description of this episode, I've included these poets and their submitted haiku in case you want to connect or reread their submissions. Thank you again for your contributions to Season 1 of the Haiku Pond. I'm honored and humbled by the faith you've placed in me. I would love to produce another season of the Haiku Pond, but first I want your feedback to help make it better. I have ideas for things I want to do, but I also want to hear from you, the listeners. In this episode's description, I've left a link to a quick survey hosted by Google Forms. There are 5 questions, only 2 of which are required. They include suggestions for topics and themes for Season 2, and how to improve the podcast for next season. If you want to provide suggestions, please fill out the survey by June 30th, 2021. Lastly, the haiku written by me in this podcast are all part of my debut poetry collection entitled Haiku Ponderings. The ebook is now available in over 10 different retailers worldwide. If you're interested in purchasing the book, visit books2read.com/haiku. Again, that's books2read.com/haiku with the number 2. The link will also be in the description of this episode. The book includes the essays featured in the episodes of this podcast, more questions to ponder, and over 100 haiku centered around the themes of mindfulness, compassion, gratitude, love and loss, and give and forgive. In fact, the process of producing this podcast helped me to focus and refine the ideas I expressed in the episodes of this podcast and in the book. If you want to support me and the show, you can purchase the book on 10+ retailers worldwide, including Amazon, Apple, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit bookstoread.com/haiku and choose your preferred retailer. Thank you again to all the poets for their submissions. Thank you to the listeners for tuning in, and thanks for your continued support. Feel free to reach out to me by sending an email to thehaikupond@gmail.com. For podcast updates, follow the pod on Twitter @thehaikupond. And for more of my haiku, follow me on Instagram @haikubyfifi. As a reminder, you can find the links to the survey and my debut haiku collection in the description of this episode. Thanks for listening, and keep writing haiku. This part has ended, but with each ending, there is a new beginning. Thanks for visiting the Haiku Pond. If you've been inspired by what you've heard, please share the show with a friend. For more haiku, you can follow me on Instagram @haikubyfifi. And for podcast updates, follow the pod on Twitter @thehaikupond. For more episodes, visit anchor.fm/thehaikupond.